tougher, not a bluffer. I want you to be my lead, don't have to take it undercover. Just under the bells are ringing, people singing, rice is throwing flower, bringing ding-a-ling-a-ling. A honeymoon is when we going, and I take you to a place that you didn't even know.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Both quarterbacks have reliable tight ends they know they'll be able to count on to make plays. It's the Broncos going up against the Steelers. So with that, let's get up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from Heinz Field. That's fielded in the end zone. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Completes it to Hayward Bay. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Roethlisberger. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Wheaton's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
On first and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this inside the 10 to the 7. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And it's intercepted. Picked off by K. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
After the interception, here's blitz coming, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody could hear my smile on that play.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off William Gay, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Hit as he threw it. Charles, that ball's got to come out quicker.
It does, and the way that happens, know where you need to go with the ball in pre-snap. Has to read the coverage, has to have a great idea so he knows he can get rid of it right now to an open receiver.
Because he had no back in there to protect him with that 5-wide set.
So you know it should become your own blitz control because you've got to deliver the ball and know you're going to get hit.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. Third and 2, now Roethlisberger. And he finds Hayward Bay. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Darius Hayward Bay, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Let's go now. Right 18. Right 18. Go.
Trying to shake off the interception. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
Let's go now.
Third and long, it's Sanchez. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you don't want to pin this all on the quarterback, even when the pressure's coming. Not easy for them, but that's just something you can't do is take that sack in the end zone.
No, you can't, but for all defensive line coaches, they're celebrating everywhere. Because what do they tell us in our meetings? It's all about the get-off, beating the offensive line at the snap of the football.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Man open left side is Brown. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a second down.
I'm going to show my age. Catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 28 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
And that will make this a 16-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete.
Holding offense.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Now Sanchez. And caught right side, Green. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. He does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that
Let's
randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Roethlisberger will throw. Going for the deep ball. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is. And then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine. That's held in Indianapolis every year. And you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance. And all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents. All right, that starts, I believe, in early March. Where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there. Free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins. So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the gun on 3rd, Sanchez finding time. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Daniel McCullers in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Broncos defense getting ready to go. And last time they got the 4th down stop, looked like they might surrender points. Ball got on their side of the field. But then they snatched that momentum. What's that like for that defense?
Oh, it's phenomenal because some doubts starting to creep in as you're giving up yardage, trying to figure out a way to slow them down. But with some suddenness to turn things around, to flip the script, as the guys like to say, that's a big-time play.
Yeah, it was a big-time play. Now we'll see if they can do it again. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So 2nd and 10 here. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Here's a direct snap to Bell. They go end around. This is Wheaton. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 3rd down, 15 yards still needed. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Alert! 3 down. Here we go. 38.
Now a direct snap back to Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. We have hit half-times. Well, that came a little abruptly here. So working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Arthur Moats in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Ready, right 18, right 18.
Out of the gun, Sanchez. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's off.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Denver. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. With it is Brown. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And they get 14 yards there and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He's going to get the football. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Roethlisberger completes it to Hayward Bay. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. A big play
there from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Roethlisberger looking for Green, and it's intercepted. And how about this? It's the other Brandon Marshall.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense, and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at the 15. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense.
Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward. How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That give them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. In the backfield is Anderson. Here's Sanchez now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Sanchez now to throw. And caught right side, Green. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down. bring up fourth. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's looking at his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They come out with one back and three tight ends. Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. He's at the 30. 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for that. Back now in Pittsburgh, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves? Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
He's got his man here. It's Green. There goes Green. The 30. Past the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here we go. White 20. White 20. You don't know no better. Go.
And the head coach reaches for the red.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
No gain, and it's second down.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
Offense working with a second and goal now from the 3. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Third down and goal from the 6. They'll try and run. Hillman. And he is going to lose yardage here. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And that one might...